Yo, I'm back. I'm back. It's got a little cool. Been doing a little working, but I'm back. Now, the initial title of this video was going to be called Mitch Landrieu is full of shit, because I don't know. I just don't like the guy. You know what I mean? I wasn't in New Orleans when he got elected mayor, but, from him to his dad, I need to look at a picture of his dad because I've never seen this guy, but I heard a lot about him and his sister. It's like, politics is the family business. So when I picked the book up, In the Shadow of Statues, I just saw it in the library and I said, I'm going to check it out. I'll give it a shot because I'm very interested in the history of New Orleans. And, for better or worse, it is history, you know. And at first, I said I was just going to get on here and just like try to tell anybody would listen, like people from New Orleans know about this guy, and and he's in the book. He's just purporting like he's just this big like liberal Democrat, which is cool if that's what you want to be. I think it causes most of the problems in the black community and keeps us where we at, but I don't. He's not even that. But the book is like it makes him look like he's I don't know, Bayard Rustin or something, like, like, dude, you are not all that, dude. You're no champion for civil rights. Cut it out, you know. But I thought it was important because I want my child and my grandchildren, my great grandchildren to know where I stood, you know, which is another thing because you hear about this stuff and they talk about this, but they never ask the people. They always ask the prominent people, like, we're doing this for the good of those African Americans. Like, why you never ask us? But I think as far as monuments and statues and things, I guess venerating the Confederacy. First of all, first thing is the average person, and it's very sad. The average person don't even know the history. And I'm not talking about people that have a lack of education. I'm talking about people that's highly educated, well, I would say highly schooled. Wouldn't that's why those statues were been up there for so long because most people don't even know. You know what I mean? Now they can tell you how many kids this woman on a, loving hip hop have and all kind of stuff, but and which is sad for our society is that most people walking around they don't even know, you know. I seen those statues for years since I was a little when I was in middle school and junior high. I used to have to catch the bus across town, uptown to McMain, and I would see those statues, you know, and I will always question like, why is that up? This is a majority black city, like, but you know, let the party continue, you know. But if you want to go talking about statues, we can start talking about the names of streets. I remember a few years ago they did it with the schools. They changed all the schools, but like I say, the sad part is the average person, which is a shame in the age of Google, don't know who the school was named after and don't know who the new school is named for, unless it's Martin Luther King or you know what I'm saying, somebody who the media has just pushed, and then they don't even really know what those people really did besides their name and the I Have a Dream speech clip. So it's like, it's like you're fighting for something. It's like arguing about, I don't know, take it from a football perspective. It's like me arguing who's the best player in the NFL, and the person that I'm arguing with don't even know the rules of football. It's like, so now you got all these protesters and all, and it's just ignorance on all sides. And I have to admit, at least the guys that are fighting for to keep them up, at least they have a sense of history. Now I believe they're wrong, but at least they're knowledgeable. you know. So you know. But if you ask my opinion, I think it's good to take them down. I don't think they should be applauded, but I think they should be put somewhere. And I tell anybody to listen to me, just like we have that museum in Washington, D.C., that African American museum, which, I mean, come on, dude, it took that long to build that. And we've been here since before the country was founded. But just like there's a museum there should be something like that in New Orleans, even bigger. I mean, you're talking about history, man. This is probably one of the most historical cities in the world. You know, I mean, definitely the United States. So, but I don't see the will is there. I don't see that. That's not sexy. That's not fun. You know what I mean? But I think there's always a market for it. You know, and it's a shame. It's like the people that don't live here a lot of times know more about the history than the people that live here, which is horrible and sad and ridiculous. But yeah, I think it was a good thing to take them down, but I don't think they should be destroyed or hidden. You know, I remember the that Liberty Place monument. It was like on Canal Street. It was behind a crown. I used to see it when I would get off the boat. You know, and I looked it up what that meant, and it's like, okay, I think that should be displayed. I think that history, because what happened, and I think what they're trying to do now is they taking all that stuff down, and then in 100 years they'll be saying, "Oh, we never did that, not in this society." You know what I mean? They'll just hide it, so it's kind of counterproductive, you know. So, but as far as the book, he goes into his life story, which is pretty interesting. A lot of name dropping, but I mean, dude, don't make yourself look like you're nobody. You was the son of the mayor, dude. It's all about legacy, nepotism at its highest form. you know, you knew the right people. Good for you. Don't try to make it like you're nobody special. Like, really, dude. There's just something about this dude that's just so fake. I don't know. But as far as the statues, man, I did learn a lot about the Beauregard statue and the Liberty Place statue. Like I said, I had did research on that when I was like maybe 13 years old in the early 90s. I was going to the library. I had met this female, and she was like, who are all these schools? We just were sitting there talking on a bus stop, and she was like, I wonder who are all these schools named after, and what are, the totality of these people, what did they do? And that's why I always warn against worshiping people. I don't even think you should be naming like stuff after people. Really, because everybody got a dirt. Everybody has faults, you know. So that's I don't believe in that venerating people, making their name. This is, Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. Then 20 years from now we find out that he had flaws. I'll just leave it at that. You can look it up, or Malcolm X Boulevard, and then come on, man. All these people had flaws. We're human beings. So I don't understand the whole thing about statues. And if you read the Bible, that's why they said you read the Bible, they say God had to take Moses because they would take his body and worship it. I guess it's just a human need. So, but I mean, come on, look at your money. Those are slave owners. Washington, you're talking about the football team, the Redskins. I mean, are you just going to destroy the whole society and build it again? I mean, it's just how far do you go? That's all. That's my only question. Are you going to take them down? I think they should replace them with something and have the history. Okay, we had Robert E. Lee here, but then we realized that and tell a story so the future generations can know, instead of just taking it down. And then now nobody's not going to know anything unless they do research, and we're just going to act like it never happened. You don't get reconciliation. It's like family members, they do you wrong, they just act like it never happened, like there's no healing. You got to go get the bone set, whatever. But you know so yes, I am for the statues being taken down, but I'm more for education. So, son, when you watch this years from now and you hear about, what happened in 2017, and you'll know that yes, your father he did support him being taken down. Shout outs to Take Him Down NOLA, because they, were instruments. So those people had been fighting for that since the early 90s. And for Mitch Landrieu to try to take credit for it is horrible. It's just horrible. And it's just, and just to use this for your bid to try to get national office is just deplorable, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion of the guy. I might be biased, but there's Reverend Avery Alexander. Google him, find out about him. He had been doing that since the early 90s. He had been trying to get these statues taken down, and him and a whole bunch of nameless people, Take them down NOLA. They've been trying to get all this stuff taken down. And because this stuff, you know, when you really start seeing like what this stuff meant and the attitude behind this stuff and how in 2018 it's still there. I used to work temporary jobs, and you go to some of these places and it's like, that attitude, that white supremacist attitude is like still there. It's very sad. And it's really hurting the whole country because we're getting left behind. We're getting left behind by other countries because we still stuck with this mindset, and the Asian countries and China are just zooming past us because we still talking about I'm better than you because my skin is lighter. You know what I'm saying? When we could all be working together to try to make the society, but hey, I guess that's wishful thinking. So yes, I support the statues being down, but I support more education. Educate yourself about who these people were, who put the statues up, why the statues were put up, And most of the people that's out there fighting and screaming, they don't even know that because that's not sexy. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't tell you to read this. This guy just tooting his own horn. It just hurt. I had to finish it. I was about to just throw it back, but I said I'm gonna finish it just for the history. But oh my God, this guy is a pretentious asshole. All right, it was a hard read. If you're into it, if you're very into New Orleans history, read it. But if not, I'm telling you, it's really gonna make you throw up. This guy is ridiculous. Y'all have a good day.